I'm Nicole from Growing in Suburbia and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you a cute little wreath tutorial, Halloween wreath inspired by Hocus Pocus. I was going to put this out last week, but because we had back to school and everybody got sick right away, and then we had like a school event and I was still putting the house back together, so it just couldn't happen. It just got delayed, but it's ready now. I am a huge Halloween fan, and this year we're going with a theme of like witchy stuff, witches, but sort of whimsical and sweet rather than anything like scary. So we're doing a little bit spooky stuff, and I got some inspiration from Hocus Pocus, Halloween favorite. I haven't watched it with my kids yet because I don't know if my youngest might be too scared. So we're gonna keep that for another year. Anyway, so this wreath is just a little decoration for your door. It's the Sanderson Sisters, and I will show you a list of what you need for this in a second, and then we're gonna get started right away. I already started on this project a little bit earlier, but my camera wasn't running properly, so I'm just going to jump in where I am now. So you're going to need a wreath and some yarn in different colors. We're going to need purple, red, green, yellow, orange, and black. You'll also need a dowel or a stick to lay across your wreath. My wreath is 35 centimeters in diameter, and I'm using a 40 centimeter dowel. You may need to cut yours to size. I also stained mine with a walnut stain to make it blend in a little bit more with my wreath, but you don't have to do that. That's totally optional. Next, you're going to need to measure your yarn to make the dresses or the bodies of the witches. So we're making the 3 Sanderson Sisters from Hocus Pocus. So we're going to need red, green, and purple for the dresses. I decided to use some different shades of those colors to give it a little bit more depth and make it look more interesting, but you don't have to do that. If you just have the one shade, that's perfectly fine. Now you can see I've already attached a dowel to the wreath here, but you don't need to do that just yet. For the dresses, we are going to measure out how long your yarn needs to be. It depends on the size of your yarn and where you want your dowel. So the first thing you need to figure out is where your dowel placement is. So put it roughly where you would like it. I decided about a third down from the top of the wreath looks good. And then you're gonna take your yarn and measure from the dowel to the bottom of the wreath. We want it to be a little bit longer. We are going to trim off any excess later, but you can't attach more, so it's always good to have it a little bit longer. Now you can also use a ruler to measure it from the dowel to the bottom of the wreath. For me that's about 20 centimeters, so I'm going to double that up so I can sling it over the dowel. And so I'm going to measure out a few lengths of that yarn. And you can, as I said, use different shades and just measure out as many as you think looks good to make a good bunch that looks sort of similar to what I have here. So once you're ready with that, you cut the ends open. And then you just take it and you sling it over the dowel in the middle. So make sure they are the same length at the back and the front, and then you just take another piece of yarn and you wrap it around a couple of times and tie it up in the back, and that's it. So as you can see, it is just slung over and tied together. This is super easy to do. You can add arms and legs, but I won't be doing that this time to keep it simple. And you just do that with each color until you are happy and it looks nice to you. You can then also attach the dowel to the wreath. I've used just some yarn in a similar color to the wreath, so I can remove it again and reuse the wreath for Christmas or other occasions, but you can also hot glue it. That's perfectly fine as well. Next we're doing the heads. I have already started with Mary's head earlier. We'll need black yarn for her, orange for Winifred, and yellow for Sarah. Now let's make Mary's head first. So she's got black hair and it's kind of up a bit, and I've already started, as you can see. Now please be careful, hot glue is hot. I have had many burns from it, so just be gentle and careful. That's also part of why I like to use these little hot glue guns, because they're just a little more gentle. They're not like burning. You can see it's like, it's all right. And I'm just gonna do the best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like the Halloween police is not gonna come around and go, you didn't do a very tidy job on this. You could probably use a little bit of floral wire or other kind of wire to support this if you are so inclined. I think I'm quite happy with that right now. Is that, let's go like this. Watch out, mate, that's hot. That's my cat saying hi. That's Indy. He loves sticky stuff. There you go. He's just chewing on the glue here because he likes it. Please don't steal that. I'm still gonna need it later. All right, so that's Mary's head. That's gonna be good. Maybe we can put a little bit more here, but I think it'll be fine. Perfect. Now we're gonna make Winifred next. So for the heads, I'm actually just using these wooden beads. I got them from Spotlight as well. They are probably available in lots of different places. They come in a pack of 4 and mine are 35 millimeters, 3.5 centimeters in diameter. I'm using them with the hole pointing up so that I can cover it with the hair and you won't be able to see it, and the bottom is going to be covered by the dowel as well. For Winifred, I've got this. I did not find good orange or, anything that could pass for that. So I'm gonna just do 2 different orange colors and just mix them together a little bit. I'm gonna knot these together now, so I've got a little starting point. Want to make sure that that hole is covered in the end, so I'm going to make this one a little bit sort of big down the bottom. I'm going to put a tiny little bit of a dab of hot glue on that side so I can sort of get that stuck there. I think that looks great. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, and that's enough for me on that side. Okay. I would like a bit more height here, but I'm gonna make the other one first and then see how that works out. Now again, I'm gonna put a knot in the start. There we go. Put a good dab of hot glue here. Try not to get it onto the other one, and then I put the knot right on top of the hot glue and then just wrap it around basically. Here we go.
And now we have Winifred. I'm actually quite happy with that for the moment. And now last is Sarah, which I'm not too sure how to do that because she's got like hair basically straight down rather than up. So I left her to last so I can have a little think. I also have not a good blonde sort of yellow, so again I'm going to use these two yellows. They look the same on camera. They are slightly different. One of them is a little bit more of a lemony cool yellow and the other one is more of a warmer yellow. So I've put them all, as you said, I saw the two colors together. So we're just gonna cut some really long strands of hair now. Let's see how far we get with this amount. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna just put a little bit on. Okay, so I've made it half, well, most of the way down, I'd say. And then I'm gonna change direction to there, but first I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, I think this is gonna be all right. And there we go, that's Sarah for us.
Next, we're going to attach the heads to the bodies. In order to do that, we'll glue them onto the dowel. Don't glue them onto the wool, onto the yarn, it's not going to work. So you need to make sure you split the yarn so that you can see the dowel and make space for the head there. Put a small amount of hot glue on the dowel. Be careful to avoid the yarn and then put the head on top. Make sure it is actually on top and not sideways. It can be a little bit tricky to see when the wreath is lying down, so make sure you double check that before you put it on. Also, Mary's hair is pointing slightly to the right, so make sure that's pointing the right way as well. Next is Winifred. Make sure your dresses are lined up in the middle where you want them before you glue this one on. Now you can totally do all of this gluing on the heads before you put the dresses onto the dowel and measure just the middle where they need to go. But I sometimes struggle with visualizing stuff, so I have to do it in a certain way for my brain to make sense. And that might sometimes be the more difficult way. But hey, you know how you work best, so you can just watch the whole video through first and then decide which way around you want to do it. There's no wrong way of doing it, it's just whatever you prefer really and what is easier for you. And Sarah is our last one now. Once we're done gluing on the heads, we're going to just neaten up the dresses a little bit. Make it a little tighter around there, just pull this up a bit. Make it nice and neat and tidy. and that is it. Let's get that hair down. And this is our Sanderson Sisters Halloween wreath. And this is the finished wreath. I'm just gonna show you on my wall. I'm sorry the lighting is not very great right now, but you can see they look really cute. I have trimmed Sarah's hair a little bit. I also took off a little bit of the dresses so they don't touch the wreath, and I am quite happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a like if you did, and make sure to follow me as well. I have 2 more Halloween tutorials coming up this October, and they are also really cute and sweet and very easy to do. So I hope to see you next time. Bye!